Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of the Nightcap. And it's just me, Cap. And I'm just playing around with some stuff. As you can see, it's an on air sign behind me because we're live and on air. And yeah, this is the Nightcap, usually where we talk about grown up stuff in the late night hour. But I just wanted to test out some cameras and things of that nature. So I figured, why not? What better time to pop on here and see you guys, and let's quickly just talk about some stuff. So hopefully everybody's having a good night. It is Friday night into early Saturday morning. So hopefully you guys are, if you're not laying down relaxing, you're snuggled up next to, your boo thing or your husband or wife thing or whatever you have going on. Because you never know these days. Everybody's got, things going on. A lot of things going on. Hey, Patty Duke, nice to see you. Hey, Patty. What's up, Rizzo? How are you? How are you? How are you? Yeah, so this is, a good old nightcap moment. I thought I'd just pop on and give you a little nightcap. And yes, I'm giving you the voice into the microphone because it's that time, it's that hour, and it's the time and hour for power. Yeah, so and it ain't no church gospel, nothing. This is a different kind of power. So let's get into some things. There's a couple questions I just came across, and I thought, hmm, this would be interesting um, to ask you guys, and even to answer from myself since I came across them. So the name of the questions are spicy questions about relationships. Now, I myself single, but with kind of single asterisk, like on the verge of possibly, hopefully, being a relationship, but nonetheless, I'm still single technically. So, I'm just going to answer from a singles perspective. You guys can answer from your relationships perspective or whatever you have going on, or just to answer. I'll be curious to want to know your answers as well. All right, so let's try one here. Have you ever had a secret relationship? Um, Me personally, no, I've never had a secret relationship. I have had relationships in the past that I didn't know were relationships, if that makes sense. Like, I just thought it was gonna be, one and done. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am. And lo and behold, dun dun, I was wrong. I was wrong. Um, and I think because I'm a Cancer, so when it gets down to the business, I'm very passionate, and I like to prove a point. Because a lot of times people don't think you could do what you could do, and you got to kind of like, you got to show them. So there have been a lot of times where I have showed some folks, and yeah, it didn't turn out the way I thought it would. Like, I was just thinking it was gonna be like a wham bam, and then you'd be like, maybe, tell a friend, like, yeah, but they kept it to themselves, and next thing I know, we were in a relationship. But it wasn't a bad thing. Um, I don't mind being in a relationship, but it's definitely not what I thought it was. Um, yeah, so that's what happened. Uh, so no, I've never been a secret relationship, but I have been in some situations where I didn't think it was going to be a relationship. I wasn't looking towards a relationship, but I've been told I give off husband material, and that's just naturally how I am. So if I'm involved in something, I'm very much giving you like, and I think people kind of gravitate to that, which is cool, not a problem. But at that time in my life, I wasn't expecting it. Um, let's see what other question we got here. What is the most surprising thing a partner has ever done for me? Most surprising yet, uh, mm, I can't say. And I only say that because I am the one kind of doing, and I haven't come across like somebody giving me that vibe back. because like I said, I give off that husband vibe, so I do a lot in ships, whether it's relationships or whatever. I am constantly doing, and not that I look for anything back, because of course, if you're doing it, you don't look for anything back, or else why would you do it, right? So no, I don't really look for anything back, but as of yet, right now, no, I haven't had anyone to like surprise, like wow me with something that um, was like, wow, like that's different. Um, I will say someone being somewhat very attentive to me, like if I don't have to say anything and they can kind of read my face and be like, "What's wrong? What's up with you?" That right now currently is the most surprising thing to me, because usually people take forever to kind of get me. So that's what you wasn't meant to be a wife in this relationship. Yeah, like I don't know what that is. Like previously I've gone into situations where I wasn't even looking to be with. It was just like, okay, this is gonna be what it's gonna be. And then it kind of turned into that, and it wasn't nothing like no conversation or anything. It just like they just went that way, and I didn't necessarily say, "Whoa, no, this is not where I wanted to go." It was just like, whatever, we'll see. Um, so I guess that's my fault a little bit in that instance. Let's see. Have you ever been in love, and how did you know? Ooh, good question. Um, have I ever been in love? Huh. Let's see. Have I? Um, Maybe once or twice. I will say that I've actually been in love, but I think I was more in love with the idea of the person than the actual person. And I say that because a lot of times you get caught up in certain things and you ignore or you don't see the forest for the trees, right? Um, and then once all the kind of the merriment and all that kind of lusting or whatever that is kind of goes away, and you're faced with the reality of what is, or the person, um, and I think that's where I started to take notice, like, am I really, is this really love, or I just like the idea of being with the person that I think they are, and not who they actually are, right? Who they're kind of showing me at the moment, but not who they truly are. Because sometimes that takes time. Because sometimes people don't reveal themselves right away, especially if they want to be like that person, because they know that you have some benefit to them, uh, be it whatever it is. Yeah, I think a lot of times people do that, which is very weird to me. Weird, weird, weird. Uh, let's see. Let's see. Oh, good one. Have I ever ghosted someone, and why? Uh, yes, I have. For me, if I'm just talking to you like instantly, sometimes don't get me wrong, you do get a vibe of like, oh, this person's cool. But if you off the break coming at me like, oh, bay and baby and all that kind of craziness, yeah, I will ghost you, because you don't know me, and I don't feel like there's no reason for you to even be using that. Like, if you're not using my name or my screen name, please don't do that, because that is the quickest way to get you ghosted. Um, sometimes I do explain that to people, but um, I think a lot of times people just they see what they see, and it's like, well, I gotta have them before somebody else picks them up or snatches them up. And it's like, no, I'm the most organic person I like things to flow naturally. I don't like to force things at all. It may almost seem like I'm uninterested, but no, it's for me to kind of let all that stuff subside. And for if you really want to pursue it, you will pursue it. And if not, you'll just fall back, and I'm okay with that too. There's a lot of fish in the sea, uh, but yeah, and not that don't get me wrong, not that I want to know every fish, but the question was, have I ghosted someone? And yes, I have for various reasons. None of them sexual, though. Um, but definitely very much if you came across kind of crazy, I just not even bothering. Um, let's see. What is my biggest relationship regret? Ooh, um, allowing someone to share my space. That, and I don't like to live with regret, so this is kind of hard to even say. Because I don't necessarily regret it in the sense like I wish I would have never done it. Because I feel like it was a lesson either way. Because you live and you learn, and you go through things not to repeat them. Uh, but I do know, and I've learned from myself that I kind of put in the universe. I don't want this type of person. I don't want to do this. I'm not raising no this. I'm not doing this, and all those things that I kind of put in the universe that I wasn't going to do, I met that embodiment in a person, right? And me not seeing all those signs or kind of ignoring the first few signs, like, oh, maybe if you show somebody a different way, they will, follow suit. That um yeah, I allowed that person into my space, and that was the one of the worst mistakes I've ever done. Yeah. But again, lesson learned, right? Um, it was an experience, a, a tumultuous one, but nonetheless, it was an experience. Uh, that it didn't start off that way. Like I will say, it definitely played itself very much like, oh, this is cool. I like this. This could probably be something. And then and one of my friends had said that early on, and I was like, "You don't know what you're talking about," like, and just shrugged it off. But I should have listened, because a lot of times your friends see stuff that you don't necessarily see, because they may have experienced that same type of energy when they come across it. So sometimes it's good to at least listen to your friends when you're hearing something of what they're saying. I think that's always beneficial. Uh, let's see. Let's see. Have I ever dated someone to make somebody else jealous? No, I'm not a jealous person by far at all, not even a little bit. So, no, I've never dated anybody to make somebody else jealous. Although I will say I have been used to make someone jealous. And Ronnie, if you watching this later on, because I know you follow me on my Facebook page, you know what you did, which was horrible. But I'm gonna tell this story anyway. So, uh, my friend Ronnie was like, "Hey, what are you doing? Let's go have lunch or whatever." I was like, "Sure, cool, fine. Would you like me to meet you, or are you coming here? Or am I going there? Like, what are we doing?" He's like, "No, I was in the area. I'll come scoop you, and then we can go." Right? Totally was like, "Okay, sure, fine." So you come, get in the car, we're talking, blah, blah, blah. We get to the restaurant, and I'm looking at the menu trying to figure out what I wanted to eat. And I just felt like eyeballs on me. And I'm like, so I look up at the gentleman looking at me, and I'm like, okay. Um, he's like, "Well, what do you want? I'm paying for it." I'm like, "Well, yeah, you invited me to lunch. Usually that's how that goes, right?" I mean, some people are, they're too poor to know that. But yes, if you invite some kind of rule of thumb, if you invite somebody to lunch, you pay, and then the person you invited usually either drops the tip or will leave you whatever money would cost for the actual lunch and give it to you in your pocket. Usually that's how that goes, right? Really be if you want to be truthful and tell the truth, bitch. Anyway, did I jump off on a tangent? My bad. But anyway, we're in the restaurant and like I said, the waiter is looking at me all crazy, and I'm trying to figure out like, okay, am I taking too long? Like, I'm sorry. So I'm looking at my friend like, you could order or what have you. So we wind up finally ordering, and he makes this face. And he's looking at me like he's cracking up, like he's like laughing hysterically, and I'm trying to figure out what the fuck is funny. Like, I'm I'm lost. The waiter kept coming back, like slamming stuff on the table and doing all kinds of craziness. And at this point, I'm like, I think we should leave. Like, what the hell is going on? So come to find out, the waiter was somebody that my friend was talking to, and he brought me along to make set waiter jealous because he knew he was working, he knew he was going to be there. You talking about a cursing out at that table? Oh yeah, he got a whole cursing out. I don't even think we spoke for 3 months after that, just because I don't play like stuff like that. Like, that's not even an avenue or area I play in. Um, like, that's not, no. Like, it's one thing for you to come to me and like vent or tell me or ask for my opinion in something, but it's a whole nother thing for you to involve me in like your mess. I don't even operate like that. So needless to say, yeah, he was on the shit list for a while. And when you're on my shit list, yeah, you on it. So he was on the shit list for a while. Eventually, I, digress. I mean, we laugh about it now, but then at that moment, no, I was hot like fish grease, and he knew it because I don't play like that with people and things. So, because if that man would have put his hands on me, he'd have definitely got something he wasn't even thinking he was gonna get from me. Uh, so yeah, I was very much like, no, the hell you didn't. Who the fuck does that? Uh, that was a bit crazy. Let's see. What's my favorite love song and why? I don't really have a favorite love song, but I will say my favorite nighttime um like that makes me think of love, and people are gonna laugh at me and I don't care, that makes me think of like love and all that stuff is Anita Baker. I love Anita Baker, like I love Anita Baker like so bad. um and so yeah, like when I think of like Quiet Storm and all that, I always think of like Anita Baker. So yeah, I love Anita Baker. And I was mad I couldn't see her when she came to Baltimore the one time recently. Let's see. What is my stance on an open relationship? I I've never had one, nor do I think I want one. And again, not because not that I'm a jealous person, because I'm not, but I just believe that once you cross the realm of like having sex, that's very close and personal to me, and that's not something I play with lightly. So, and granted, there's a whole bunch of stuff out there and all these other things, and of course, but that's something I definitely don't play with too much. So I couldn't see myself necessarily being in an open um, relationship with so many people, kind of interacting with so many people. It's like not my speed, not my speed at all. Like I don't mind being social because I am a social person, but I can also be very reserved into myself too at the same time. So, so no, open relationships won't necessarily be my thing. Let's see. Uh, what is the most I've done to win someone's heart? Uh, Nothing really, just be myself. Uh, yeah, just really be myself. I don't extend myself to like do stuff on purpose to win somebody over. I am really just genuinely me. And things just kind of fall into place. Uh, I always believed, even as a kid, that whatever you put out there, people will accept it or they won't. So I don't ever overly extend myself to make someone like me more. You'll just like me because you like how I am or how I treat you. uh I don't I don't get caught up in that, like, oh, let me do this for you so you like me more. Like, either you do or you don't. Like, I really don't. I don't get caught up in that. Let's see what else we got. Do Have I ever had a friends with benefits situation? And if I did, how did that go? Uh, Again, like I said earlier in the first part of one of the questions, I don't, I don't, because even when I thought it was like a friends with benefits, it wind up being more, uh, because feelings got involved, and yeah, so I, I try not to even touch that because like it always the few times I've done it in the past, it always ended up in a situation where it was a lot thicker than what it should have been, and the friendship wind up suffering uh, due to it. So I try not to mess with those. And let's see. What is the one thing you'll never compromise on in a relationship? Uh, Cheating. Cheating for me is the one thing that I um won't compromise on. It's another thing, like, to have that discussion and to like know what the boundaries are. But if those are already set and you still went out of that, like, yeah, then no. Because if I can't trust you, then there's nothing we 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 could do. Nothing we could do. Nothing we could do at all. Like, 'cause I will never get to that place with you ever. So that's a waste of time. You'd be trying, and it'd be like, eh. Because some days I'll feel like, okay, we've passed it, and then I'll wake up the next day and be like, you know what? Hell no, we ain't passed it. So to even not even put somebody through that, no. I will say, yeah, cheating would definitely be like cheating and covering up, all that type stuff. Would definitely be a no-no for me. Yeah, that's definitely a point of no return. Have I ever been caught in a love triangle? No, no love triangles for me. Now, I don't know if that includes like talking to multiple people, but I don't get caught up in like love triangles where I'm like very involved with a lot of people. Nah, I don't do that. Uh, let's see. Have I ever done something illegal, and what happened? Uh, no, I've never done nothing illegal. I'm a good guy. I don't. First of all, I have a career, so I can't really do too much. Um, but no, I've never done anything illegal. No. Plus, my mother used to always be like, "You do something illegal and get yourself in trouble, you on your own because I'm not saving you." So that always stuck with me. So my older brother got a little bit involved in some mess, and what she said she did. So I was like, nope, I don't want that to be me. So no, I have never done anything illegal. Um, so no. Let's see. Uh, oh, have I ever been into a physical fight? And what was it about? Yeah, I have. Surprisingly enough, I have been in a few. Um, but the most recent was one of that relationship that I spoke about a little earlier. Yeah, it got physical, and that was my first kind of situation where I was involved in something that was physical. But my mom ain't raised no punk, so what he thought he was gonna get, he got far more than he bargained for. Um, and it was funny because when it was over, he called my best friend to like tell on me, and so she came over to kind of mediate, and I was like, you know, I as people think I tell my closest friends everything, and I don't. One, because they're very protective, and two, because I know if I were to divulge a lot of things, people would have got seriously hurt. Because the people that, yeah, they don't play about me, so I don't necessarily always tell because I know it could go left, and yeah, people could really get hurt. So in that situation, I didn't call to tell her anything. So when he called her and kind of told her a little bit enough where she came over to find out like what was going on, he proceeded to tell her, and he was like, "You didn't tell her that you did this and that you did that and did this." And I was looking at her, looking at him like, "No." And she's like, "You did that?" And I'm like, "Yeah," but he didn't tell you why. And then when he proceeded to say why, like what he did, it was like she looked at him like, "Yeah, of course he would. Like, are you crazy?" Um, but yeah, not like no, my mom ain't raised no fool or no punk, and neither did my older brother at all. So yeah, it goes down. If I have to, I try not to because I that part of me once I'm there, and I try not to do that because that's just not a it's not a healthy place. But yeah. Let's see. What else? What is the most expensive thing you've brought on a whim and why? Usually the most expensive things that I buy on a whim, it's usually a new car. That's usually the most expensive thing I've bought thus far on a whim. Um, I don't know in the future, hopefully there'll be other things, but yeah, so far that's usually, and it's not even on a whim. Usually, I kind of, of course, get the ducks in a row to do it. But yeah, that's the most thing I've done on a whim, so to speak. Um, what is the funniest prank you've ever pulled on someone? I'm really not a prankster like that, only because I scare easily. Like, I can know you're there, see you come in, or know that you're hiding behind something, and you could still catch me, and I'll still jump. Uh, and that's just I don't know what that is. I don't know. I think it's a little bit because I'm extra sensitive. Like I sense a lot of things, so I'm always kind of a little like energies and things. So I'm always a little slightly jumpy a little bit because people's energies and things sometimes can trigger different kind of feelings, and it's hard to kind of I learned how to kind of control it more and just kind of like keep a straight face in the sense when I'm not like, okay, I feel weird. Um, but yeah, I'm always a little jumpy, and I've been that way since I was a kid. So I don't know what that is, but I mean, my friends think it's funny, but I don't sometimes because and sometimes I'm not in the mood, and I'm just like, "Damn, I saw you there, I saw you trying to hide, or I saw when you ran into the kitchen thinking I'm gonna scare him. And I still was like, but this, if I'm focused on something though, and I still see you do it, sometimes you won't catch me. It's almost like being ticklish and kind of cutting it off. Sometimes you'll catch me, sometimes you don't. But I don't like the fact that I get caught anyway, because usually I know that they're doing it. So it's like, why do you still jump? But I don't know. Um, let's see. Um, have I ever pretended to be someone else for a day? No, I can't pretend to be nobody but me, unfortunately. At all. I wish, but no, I definitely can't pretend to be anybody but me. Hey, everybody, welcome for popping in. Thank you for stopping by. But yeah, I mean, no, I really don't ever. I don't do that at all. I mean, it's like it's pointless. I feel like I always show up as my authentic self, and it is what it is. I don't know. I've never been one to pretend to be somebody else or anything like that. Um, what is the most shocking thing you've learned about yourself? Um, the most shocking thing? Uh, ooh, let's see. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. I because I can't even say I'm shocked that of certain things. I think the most shocking thing I've learned about myself is that I am extremely patient. Um, yeah, even though at times I don't have patience, I somewhere find it to be like very patient until I have that snap moment where I've like am done. But I am very patient. And I think the older I've gotten, the more patient I've become. Because I used to be very much like, nope, I ain't doing it. Nope, I don't want to do it. Or, quick to say no or be like that. No. Um, that now I've surprisingly become more and more patient. Sometimes it's irritating because I'll be fussing with myself uh, for me being so patient. But no, surprisingly enough, I've become far more patient. Yeah. What is the most embarrassing nickname I've ever had? Oh, this one. um, yeah. So being that there's six people in here, trust and believe. If it comes out, I know who the hell said it. But the most embarrassing nickname is actually one that my grandmother on my mom's side uh, gave me when I was younger. Uh, is my first name uh, Bony Baroni, right? And she used to say it like loud, like so loud. I'd be like, it's just an in-house name. Please do not, don't. Why do you do that? Why do you do that? Why do you do that? And then she happened to say it when she went on a field trip with me when I was in junior high school with my science teacher, who happened to know her because my science teachers at the time, her mother and my grandmother, they used to sing in the choir together. I did not know this until that field trip. And after that field trip, my whole life changed because every time she felt the need to uh, ask me a question or she felt I was, being talkative, which I wasn't. Usually people talk to me. I didn't talk to people, or I laughed because something was funny. And it was like, okay, now that I know your grandmother, I'm going to always, say something about, calling your grandmother or something like that. But I was just like, lady, you're going too far. It wasn't even that serious. Like now that you know who she is, you've met my mother tons of times and you've never, she's never said anything. But once she met my grandmother, she's like, yeah, I know her. Okay. Uh, yeah. So that was that's embarrassing. So trust me, I know who said it if it comes out. But yeah, that was my nickname. So yeah, yes. Have I ever been caught in an embarrassing situation by a stranger? No, no. Almost, almost. There was an ex of mine. We're still really good friends. Uh, we He used to sing in church, uh, and then after one Sunday, we wind up going to some restaurant in DC to eat, and he was playing footsie with my member under the table, and I was like so embarrassed that I was like, oh my god, to like see, and the people across on the other side of the table was cracking up at me because I was making faces. Like I was just like moving it because I'm not that type. Like I don't do the whole public stuff. Um, so I was really like, stop. Like, what are you doing? Uh, and the people were laughing because they thought it was funny, but I was so like hellly embarrassed. And he was literally taking his foot and like, yeah, with my stuff. But it was crazy. Uh, he stopped eventually, and we just ate or whatever. But I was um, definitely embarrassed because I don't like public stuff. I just think that should be private, but that's just me. Thank you so much. Yeah, so that was on that. Let's see. What is the craziest thing I've ever done for money? Nothing. Nothing. I knock on wood. Thank God I don't have to do strange things for a little change. I've never had to do that. No. Yeah, no. I haven't done nothing strange for no change. I don't knock, those that have, get it how you get it, but no, I've never had to do that. Um, Now, have I had a near death experience? Maybe, maybe. Uh, it's not a sexual thing, but when I was um, about five, maybe 5 or 6, this was our um, family reunion. Our family's from the Virginia area, and all the family from New York. We rented a charter to go down to Virginia, and so we spent some time at the family house, and then we went to Virginia Beach this particular uh, day, and we wind up going to the beach first, and then like just spending some time at the pool after. And my twin sister and my mother believed in always getting us the same type of stuff. I don't know. It was just weird. So we both had these like balloon boat floaty things, like this big boat thing that floats. So my sister was in hers, I was in mine. And my sister pushed away from the pool and was floating or whatever. And I thought, okay, cool, I can do that too. So I pushed away from the pool and I pushed a little too hard. Needless to say, my whole boat flipped over. My boat flipped over. I'm underwater. Uh, my brother is swimming towards me. I see him swimming towards me. He's looking at me, waving, not even whatever, not even thinking, oh, let me get you, let me get him out the water. Nothing. He swims by me and continues to do whatever. My grandmother, my mother, and my aunt are talking, and my mother looks down. I'm looking up at them under the water, like at first, waving my arms and all that kind of stuff. But then after a while, I'm like, they're not moving or noticing me. I guess this might be it. So I was just calmly just looking up at them. Uh, and I saw her look down, and she looked back up talking to my aunt, and then she looked down again like a double, and my mother doesn't swim, so she just started screaming and yelling. Then my grandmother just came and just like snatched me out the water. And yeah, that was about the only time that I kind of was like, oh yeah, this might be it. this this might be it. And as a little kid, it was a bit after the situation, it was a bit scary, but during it, I don't know, I wasn't scared or anything at all. Uh, but yeah, that was yeah it. Um, well, that's a secret. I don't know that. Let's see. If you could have a one night stand with any celebrity, who would it be? Oh, there's a lot of there's a lot of male and female celebrities that yeah. If there was the one night stand, then yeah, yeah. That's an endless list of people that yeah. Everybody for different reasons though. Like you have like Odell Beckham, like Tony Braxton. She's bad. Like Tony Braxton is bad. Like she's yeah, she's on the list. Then like Janet Jackson. I mean, who doesn't want to do the whole whatever that thing is she does when she ties you up and climbs up like with Janet Jackson? Just amazing. Who doesn't want to do that? Let's see. If you could switch genders for a day, would you? Absolutely not. I mean, granted, I love women. I think you guys are the greatest. But you guys deal with a lot. I don't even like I mean, no offense, this might get a little graphic, but I don't even like blood like that. I don't even like giving blood. I don't like needles. I don't like any of that. But because you have to, I do it. But if you actually see me get a needle, you'd be cracking up because it's a whole process. Like whoever's giving me the needle, be it a nurse, lobotomist, whatever, they really have to talk to me, like talk me down first. And then when I'm like calm enough, then they go ahead and do it. Otherwise, it's a whole dramatic thing. Like you'd be like, boy, if you don't get your old ass and get this needle and be done. But no, I'm very I don't do needles or none of that. So and I say that to say the whole period moment, I would lose my mind. And then cramps too, no less. I don't even like to get a stomach ache. I feel like when my stomach hurts, if I could take my whole stomach out and like scrape out whatever it is that's making my stomach hurt and then put my stomach back, I would rather do that than to be walking around with like a stomach bug or anything that makes me feel uncomfortable. So I can just imagine having a blood flow nonetheless cramps that I can't just like stop. More power to you. My hat goes off to all of you women. Yeah, because I can't do it and I don't want to ever. All right. So let's see. If you could be invisible for a day, would you? Yes, I would. Yes, I definitely would. Um, yeah, especially me because I'm not invisible. Even sometimes where I wish I was, I'm not. People, I'm always noticed. So it's a good or a bad thing. Like it's so bad that I ignore people, not on purpose, but I don't really pay attention to people because I'm always paid attention to. So I really don't pay attention to people. But it would be nice not to be like paid attention to all the time. Um, but it is what it is. Let's see. If I could spend a day with someone from history, who would it be, and what would I do? Ooh, there's a few people I would want to spend the day with. What would we do with all the people that I'm thinking of? We would really just talk and strategize and like kind of figure out like, well, I would just like to get in their heads and really figure out when was the switch, what did you hope for in the future? Um, even now, do you see like do you see things that you hope for actually coming true, uh, like stuff like that. I'm weird like that, so yeah, I would definitely ask that. What is the wildest adventure you've ever dreamed of? Mm, I don't think I've done that yet, and I don't want to speak on it because I'll wait, and then if it comes true, then I'll say it. Uh, let's see. Uh, if you could relive one day of your life, what day would that be? Um, I don't know. I don't know. I can't say. I don't know what day that would be. It would probably be a day where I wasn't paying attention to like stuff people were saying. Like there was this one particular day that I always try to play back. My great grandmother was saying something to me, and for the life of me, I could not hear what she was saying. Like I know she was saying something, but I was, you like you're young. I was a teenager, but like late teens, and you hear somebody saying something, and you like and you just like agreeing with them to pass them along and not really listening. uh that is probably the one moment where I wish I would go back and like really listen, and maybe someday it'll come to me and I'll like hear exactly what she was saying. But she was saying something, and I know it was, kind of like listen and do good in school and all those things. I'm sure of it, but I really wish I was like really paying attention at that moment. So I say that to say, if you do have, loved ones and elders in your family, listen when they're talking to you, not just thinking that they just talking just to talk, because they are imparting some wisdom to us. So yeah, that's all I got to say about that. But let's see, let's see if we can find some. Let's no. Uh, oh, what fantasy involving a daring or escape scene or rescue? Nah, we don't want that one. Um, if you could live out a fantasy and some famous, no, we don't want that one either. No, let's go to another group. Uh, have you ever had a crush on someone in your friend group? Ooh, uh, um, yeah, but my crushes are different. Like, if I have a crush on somebody, it could be like I I like how you think, but I don't like you like that. You, like I could be so enthralled by how you think and the stuff you say, but I don't like you, like want to be with you kind of thing. I just like to pick your brain kind of thing. So I'm weird like that. I'm very much on a different thing. Like I don't really get caught up in like looks and things. Um yeah, because all that kind of comes and goes for real. I'm really all about substance. So I could really befriend you and be so like, oh, I think the way you think is so cool. It has gotten me in trouble too, because then some people have thought that I like them, um, and it's like, no, I mean, I think you're cool, but I don't like you like that. I just like how you think. So sorry, but um, yeah. So no, yeah, it's a little weird for me, but no, I have had crushes, but my crushes with my friends is usually how they think or how they maneuver, that I find like cool. Like I like how you do that. Or I like that you think that way. Or what makes you think that way? And I'll keep asking questions or keep wanting to be engaged. Um, just cause. Uh, what is the biggest secret that I ever kept from my friend group? That particular thing that I was talking about the domestic thing, that is the biggest secret I've ever kept from my friend. Only because I knew that it would be dangerous. Like he'd probably be hanging up on an overpass somewhere. Like, yeah, it would have been really bad had I said something. And that's fact because after I told everybody and had to like come to Jesus, they was like, "Yeah, you you lucky you didn't say something sooner because yeah, we would have definitely handled that." And I knew that. That's why I never said anything because I didn't want them to get in trouble off of something like that. I didn't feel it was worth it. Um, have you ever spread a rumor about someone in your group? No, I've never spread rumors about somebody in my group. I feel like personally, if you're in a group, you should be trustworthy and there's no reason to spread anything. It should stay in the group. And that's just that. Um, what's the most I've ever done to cover up for a friend's mistake? Oh, I've done a lot. I've done a lot. I've been the one to actually maneuver the phone call, orchestrate that. I've done some things. I've done some things. Even for my siblings, I've done things. Um, not even friends. For my siblings, I've done things to cover up for them in their relationships or in their deeds. That's why when my brother used to get mad at me for not following code, I'm like, as many times as I've done stuff for you to cover up, but I can't cover up stupidity. Like if you don't tell me beforehand, so I know I can't come behind you and cover up stuff that you left uncovered, right? And then expect me to go, oh no, that's mine. No, stupid. She knows it's not. Like dumb. So stuff like that I can't do. But if you let me know ahead of time, like what you plan to do, then I can I can do what I can to kind of, shield the blow a little bit. But no, I can't fix stupid. And my brother has done some stupid stuff that I was like, I can't help you. You just have to be mad at me because I just say I didn't stay on code because I can't do it. Have I ever betrayed a friend's trust? No, I've not betrayed a friend's trust. First of all, I trust for me is big, so um I don't even go there. I feel like once that's gone, there's no way you consider yourself to be a friend anymore. I mean, and that's just me. I just feel like nah. Once the trust is gone, you might as well cancel Christmas, pretty much. Um, let's see. Okay, so I guess these are questions. Now, these next group of questions would be questions I guess I'll ask you guys to ask me, I guess, or for you to like, I guess say yay or nay. I don't know. Let's see. Uh, what can I ask? All these things are kind of like you'd have to really, really know the person. Maybe not. Let's see. Do 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 do. Oh, have you ever sent a text to the wrong person and regretted it? Oh, no. I've never sent a text to the wrong person. I have sometimes sent those what they call drunk texts. I've done that. But it wasn't to the wrong person. It was just like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Uh, I don't do that anymore, but when I was younger, yes, I would occasionally send a drunk text. And yeah, I don't do that anymore. Because, for me, once that wore off for me, once the alcohol or whatever that was that the alcohol ushered in wore off, I would be like, why did I do that? Or even as the person is like on their way, once they like, all right, cool, I'm coming through, I'll be like, nah. never mind. I'm just gonna go to bed or da da da. So yeah, I've done it, but I'm sure I've made people very upset in my follow through because I would think about it and be like, you know what, on second thought, no. Um, let's see. Um, is one have I ever ghosted somebody via text? No. Via text? No, I haven't ghosted anybody via text. Um, no, that's not a good one to ask. Um, have I ever had a text conversation that changed my life? Ooh, it didn't necessarily change my life. It definitely made me more. Um, the text conversation definitely made me more aware of my friends and even more aware of mental health. Um, coming from a family in a space where we didn't necessarily always share our feelings, um, that you kind of just, you toughed it up and kind of got over it. Uh, I always look for that in people, kind of that thing. Um, and even going through my own situations, I just, it's like tough it up and, you keep it moving. So I don't really have that kind of sympathetic, or empathetic kind of thing. It's just like always tackling it. Like, what's the problem? Okay, fix it. And a lot of times things aren't that simple and you can't just fix them uh, like that. So, in a lot of situations, I've learned to um, kind of check in, right? And being more of a listening ear and a supportive person. Um, and I'm always supportive, but more supportive emotionally, by truly like honing in and listening to what the real issue is and what really could be going on, and situations on how to help find a better solution. So, um, because a lot of times I'm not there because I don't think like that. Everything is on a kind of okay, a situation. How do we attack it, fix it, um, and move forward? And sometimes it's not that easy. So I had to come out of that space, um, and know that everybody handles things differently, and you just gotta be a better listener. Um, let's see. What is the most personal secret you've ever shared via text? I don't really share secrets via text because they can always be misconstrued. Because I know sometimes I'll say things via text because I'm very short when I say things, not literally. I mean, I am short, but I'm not that short. I'm 5'10". But I when I say things via text, they could be if you don't know me, you would think I'm being smart most of the time, majority of the time. You would think I'm being a smart ass, which granted it does come out. So I'm not even going to sit there and say like, "Oh, I'm not." I could be very sarcastic, but when I am texting, a lot of times I do know I do kind of curve my texting if you don't know me too well because you could take it the wrong way. But a lot of times I don't mean it. I'm just very like kind of cut and dry when I answer like if you ask something, I answer it. I really don't go into like hyper detail. So a lot of times people just think I'm being a smartass, and it's like, no, I was really just you asked the question, I was answering it. Sorry. Um, but I'm still a work in progress. Where a lot of times I'll curve my texts and kind of complete, uh, so there's no misconception of what I was trying to say, or I will just call. to then respond to whatever the text is. So there's no misconception on what I'm trying to say. Because yeah, it's happened a lot. But I get it. I get it. I get it. Sometimes I can be very, I don't know, just me. Um, let's see. Would I rather kiss someone in a room or kiss a complete stranger? Hmm? Would I rather kiss someone in this room or kiss a complete stranger? Well, nobody's in the room. But no, I wouldn't. I'm a person to which I need to be familiar with you to a degree. So no, I don't kiss perfect strangers. No, you don't do that. Plus, people got bumps on their lips and shit. I don't. That's nasty. Who does that? Would you rather have sex for a year or your favorite food forever? Um, I got a lot of favorite foods, so I don't know. I don't know about that. And give up sex for a year? Really? For a year? I've never gone that long. I mean, some people claim they've been celibate for 10 years. I mean, probably so because they probably look like shit. So I can imagine nobody wants to do that. But no, I don't know if I could do give up sex for a year. That would be tough. That would be tough. I mean, I only say that because if I start engaging in sexual activity with the person I'm engaging in with, then I'm on it. I want it when I want it, and that's it. However, on the flip side of that, if I'm not engaged in any kind of sexual activity, then I'm okay. I could do a whole year without having sex if I'm not engaging with anyone individually in sex, right? But once I start, then no. So that's like a double thing. Like if I'm not involved in anybody in the beginning of the year and just choose not to be involved with nobody, then yeah, I could probably go through a whole year without having sex. But if I'm engaged with somebody and actually, yeah, no, that would be tough for me. That would be tough. I'd probably wind up being a real asshole after a while. Um, because I'd probably get real angry. Like, you need a Snickers kind of thing. Um, let's see. Would you rather have a partner who is great in bed but bad at conversation, or the opposite? Um, I mean, that's yeah. I'm the type of person like you can always learn things, right? So you can kind of teach someone what you like and what you don't like. But it's really important to me that we have some sort of communication outside of sex because it's not everything, right? And after a while, sometimes you just may not feel like it, and there's other things that you need to um, hold to kind of keep things afloat. Like sex should not just be the main end all to be all. Don't get me wrong; it's a great addition, but it's not everything. And I don't think I know for sure I wouldn't be able to be in something where it's just, oh, the sex is great. That's why I'm here. No, no, no. Because if you open your mouth and there's no substance there, I will quickly be bored with you. Um, and then for me, the sex will be blah anyway, because there's nothing else to you. So no, for me, that's a no. I would probably rather you have great conversation. And the sex thing, we could work around that. Um, would you rather date someone who's bad at kissing but great in bed, or vice versa? No, I'm a kisser. So if you're a bad kisser, I can't I can't help you. Like again, that that's a definite no for me. Yeah, I love to kiss, so to me that's even sometimes more essential than even starting sex. So if you can't kiss for me, it's a no. It's a no. Uh, would you accidentally send a naked picture to a stranger or to your ex? I've done both. Not even accidentally, just you asked for it, you got it. Oh, that doesn't mean that you get me. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a picture. Like, I mean, I personally don't see the big hoopla in it. Um, yeah, it's like seeing anybody else's picture on Instagram or Twitter or anything like that. It doesn't mean that just because you saw it that you engaged with it. You just seen it. Um, but people take all that stuff to other levels and think it means more than what it is, and it's really not. It's just a picture. Get over yourself. Um, let's see. I'm gonna do two more, and then we're just gonna call it. Uh, have you ever hooked up with someone you met online? Yes, I have. But um, we, for me, I've always engaged for a while. We either went back and forth online, and then it proceeded from online to the actual phone, um, and stuff like that. But it's never been like online and instant hookup. Like, no, no, I don't do that. I need to kind of fill you out before we even engage in that other area. Just because it's a personal thing for me, right? Um, I do believe there's a lot of transference in a lot of interactions, even just meeting people. Because some people got some things on them. Some people ain't got no oil on them, that kind of thing. So yeah, so that stuff is important to me. So I try to have some dialogue back and forth for a while before I decide to go. Okay, cool, we can meet or whatever. Um, yeah, just the meet and hook up thing is really not my flow. Um, but again, I don't knock people who do it. Whatever works and floats your boat. But not me so much. Yeah, no. I mean, I have people now that still be like, "Are we ever gonna meet? Are you ever gonna meet me?" I don't know. I don't know. Uh, excuse me. It's funny. Um, have you ever kissed someone of the same sex? Yes, all the time. And opposite sex? Yes, I have too. Um, uh, let's see. Have you ever had a one night stand? Mm, I wouldn't really even the one night stand things. I wouldn't even consider it to be a one night stand for me because the few people that I've like slept with the one time and that was it. We talked for like 3 to 4 months before we actually did that, and the only reason why it just never continued is because at the time I lived quote unquote too far for them. So I mean, it was what it was, but it was no big deal. I liked being far. I do like being far away because that way you don't pop up on me just because you feel like it. Like, no, we ain't doing that either. Have I ever sent a new photo? Yes, of course. Uh, I mean, it's just a picture. It don't mean to me. It don't mean nothing. I mean, a lot of people do get bent about a shape. Like, what if somebody saw it? Okay, then they just see it. I mean, I don't know what that's supposed to do. Um, have I ever kissed someone I didn't like? No, no. I won't kiss you if I don't like you. And that's even on some kind of not liking, like I want to date you, but just in the sense where it's like, all right, you're cool. Like I like your vibe, kind of thing. Like if the vibe ain't right, I'm not. No, we're not doing that. Have you ever fantasized about your friends' partners? Absolutely not. No, no, not at all. Although one of my friends, we're no longer friends because he thought I was trying to, um, because I liked his boyfriend's picture. But my whole thing is like if I'm a friend of yours and then you have somebody, I I am your friend. I am like I'm not that close to the partner as I am you because of course we're friends, but I embrace the fact that you are with your person and it's like, oh, okay, cool. So if y'all taking pictures together, I'm gonna hit like. Like I mean, I didn't get the. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe they were going through something and that just triggered him because it was like it wasn't even a thing. It was like it was a picture of the both of them and it happened to be on his page and the friend's page and I just went like and he's like, "Oh, you liking his pictures now?" I was like, "A picture? It was the picture of the two of you." I'm confused. Um, so I was like, "Okay, well, if that's how you feel." I mean, I don't chase after people, so if you want to go, you're more than welcome to go. Don't let the door hit you with a good Lord split you. Because trust you, I am not chasing you down. And that has been, ooh, oh wow. I want to say about, ooh, let's see, my mom's been gone for like 8 years now. So I want to say it's been about 7 years since I spoke to that person. Yeah, because I don't do backwards. Mm-mm, I don't do I don't mm-mm, I don't do that. Once we hit a certain place, it's like no. Now you could always come back if you want to talk. I am available to speak to, but as far as me reaching out to you to talk to you about something you did, no, I won't. I'm good on that. Um, have I ever kissed a stranger? No. Usually, anybody that I've kissed, I've known for some time. Have you ever hooked up with someone while you were drunk? No. I've never been that drunk ever, and I usually can't be anyway because I normally I was always the person driving, so I never really got um, that drunk anyway because I'm driving. So no. Yeah, and I think that's it. Oh, here's one last one. Have you ever lied about your relationship status to get attention? No, who does that? Who does that? I've never been an attention seeker. Surprisingly enough, from what other people probably think. No, I've never been an attention seeker. But I get enough attention. I really do. Really do. I really do. I get a lot of attention, whether it is, wanted or unwanted. I do get a lot of attention, so um I don't seek it. I am okay kind of being the backgrounder. And I'm cool with that. I'm okay. It's not I know when to step, kind of in front of the stage, but I'm cool with being a backgrounder too. I can ooh and ah and sing background and I can sing solo too. And it's not an issue. Not an issue. I'm just well rounded in that way. I know a lot of people think that, oh, to be on here, you gotta have a sense of wanting people to pay attention to you. And it's like, oh, not really. Not really. I mean, the only thing I hope for is that anything that I do, somebody takes something out of it, even with the funny, and find something useful that they can take away. Like maybe in this, there's some things that you learned about me that you didn't know. Maybe there's some things that you already knew that you kind of confirmed. I don't know. Either way, hopefully it was informative. And I'm like, oh, okay. Um, and you enjoyed it a bit. That's all. That's all. That's all it is. That's all I deem in doing this is that we learn more about each other and engage. That's it. Whether it's laughing or being serious or having to drag a bitch every now and then, um, which I don't like to do because it's like don't mention me, I won't mention you. But sometimes people do reach, and it's like, now come on, I wasn't even bothering you. But it comes with the territory, I guess. But yeah. So, anyway, I ain't gonna keep you guys no longer. This was fun. I enjoyed it. Uh, and until next time, Antonio may be back because we got to work out a little schedule thing, and we'll get back and have a little more of these nightcap situations. I definitely appreciate you guys hanging out with me for a while and having a good time. Hopefully, you enjoyed yourself. You learned some things about me a little bit. And we can do this another bat time, another bat channel. So hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of your night. Do check out, I'm sure there's other people live. I'm sure Lemon is still live and they're going crazy over there. But definitely have a good night and enjoy. And until next time, peace out, you beautiful, beautiful people. All right. And good night.
But we're having fun.
And drinking.
Yeah, I know.